Good morning, everyone. It is a gorgeous, beautiful Saturday morning here in Northwest Arkansas. Too good of a day to be in the house. My favorite place to be is outside. My house can be falling around my ears. And if it's a nice day or a bearable day, I'm going to be outside doing something. I thought I had lost my cilantro plant last year, but as I was tilling, I got to looking, and I have cilantro all over this little patch. I had let the cilantro go to seed, which I'm sure you know the seeds are coriander. Anyway, I let it go to seed, and apparently those seeds took off. So one of my projects today is to build another raised bed, and I'm going to transplant some, if not all, of this cilantro into the new bed. And then I also plan on planting some green beans, and well, I'm just not exactly sure. I'd like to get some squash planted and get some tomatoes out, and probably start some peppers. Repair this trellis. It's missing a bottom bar, and I need that to be lower so that when the peas come up, they can reach it. So I got to get that repaired. Well, the new herb bed is built. It's not beautiful, but it will certainly grow cilantro. Truth of the matter is, none of this is costing me anything. This is repurposed lumber that we had left over from other projects, and most of it is the old garden beds that we tore down from Kansas City and brought down with us, and we've used this lumber for this and that and everything else, and well, I'm running out of lumber that matches. So I'm using lumber of different sizes. Anyway, now that it's built, let's fill this up. This is some of compost. This is mostly rice hulls and chicken poo from last fall. I would have liked for it to compost a little more, but I need it now, and this is what I have. So we're going to fill in the bottom of this, and then I actually went out and bought some bags of cow manure and compost. I rarely buy it, but it was a necessity this time. So let's get to filling this bed, and then we'll start transplanting cilantro. Oh, I suppose if a feller wanted to, I'd probably take the truck down to the creek and find some good sand and soil down there, but I'm a little iffy about digging at the creek. I'm not even sure if that's legal. I know I see people do it, but I don't know. That's nature. I don't like messing around with nature too much. I'm getting old. This is 40 pounds, and I don't manhandle this 40-pound bag nowhere near as easy as I used to. I don't guess any of us think getting old is fun, but I tell you, I sure do thank the good Lord above that I'm here to be aging. Alright, so we have 14 newly transplanted cilantro plants. we're just going to water these guys in. This compost from the bag is pretty moist. They'll probably be alright, but I'm going to go ahead and give them a little water anyway. Thought my son came home. He got up early this morning, went to help the neighbor. I tell you, that boy, he's always working, doing something. This is done, and I've got the trellis repaired. Actually, I had to repair 2 of them. One of the slats was coming off on the first one here, and while I had the drill out, I went ahead and put a couple screws in that and got the missing slat replaced on the second one. So now what do? So much to do. What's next? I think I got it. Let's go take a look. This is General's old dog pen. General liked to chase cars, so we had to keep him pinned up to keep him from getting ran over. But he was a good patrol dog. He turned into a chicken killer, so he had to go elsewhere. Anyway, now that General's not here, we don't need this pen, and we actually plan to expand this goat shed. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a chicken coop there, a milk room, or we're also considering a space for storing hay. Anyway, something else new's going there, and in the meantime, this eyesore needs to go. So I think I'm going to start tearing this down. So, that project's done. Time to move to something else. Spotty's chasing a toad. Frog, toad, whatever it is. Did you get it, Spot? Let's go to the goat shed. We have an issue in there. So, as it turns out, goats like chicken feed. I put the baby chicks here in the goat stalls, which is not what it was intended for. It wasn't built for that. But that's what we did. And in order to get to the baby chick feed, the goats, as sweet and gorgeous as they are, yeah, Miss Ruthie, Miss Bella, has torn this all to pieces. And so the chickens have started going in here. I can't keep the chick feed to them because the goats keep tearing into the pen and eating all the baby chick food. The problem is, I mentioned in an earlier video, I hate medicated chick feed, but it's all that I can get in my local area. And I do not know what the medicated chick feed is going to do to my goats. So I'm worried, one, about my goats' safety. Oh, and they are shedding out their winter fur. Look at this mess. Ooh, Bella. So I've got to figure out what to do. Turn this into a chicken coop and keep the goats out of it. I want the goats out, but I want the chickens to be able to come out so that they can go through. But I don't want the goats in. So I've got to think, and it's going to start with ripping all this out. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to rip it out and start all over again and figure out what to do to make it a chicken coop for the baby chicks. Yeah. Isn't that right, Bella? Well, my camera died, so I didn't get to show you when it was completely ripped out. I had everything gone except for this center support here, and then of course the kickboard at the very bottom. I left that and I left that. I went back and put in this crossbar and this crossbar. So now I'm putting the picket fences back up at a closer range so that the goats can't get through there. Okay, I think I've accomplished my goal. For one, the chickens have a bigger coop now. Two, I think I have it to where the chickens can get out without using the goat as a bouncing board. Miss Ruthie here is blocking their hole, and so the chickens wanting to go in. The trick was to make the hole big enough for the chickens but small enough that Cain couldn't get through. Because let me tell you, Cain can amaze you at the holes he can go through. I had to put that door on there 3 different ways, and Cain kept coming through it. Holes that I didn't think there was any physical way for him to get through, and he managed to get through. There, now you can see where the chickens are going through that wire, and the goat can't go in, I don't think. I think Cain, he's probably tall, the hole's probably tall enough for him, but I'm hoping it's not wide enough for him. And the other thing, because I don't have a gate, we had to engineer the feeder so that we can get to the feeder. So what I did was put a staple on the roof, run the rope through the staple, and then when we tie the feeder, we just loop it so that it's easy to tie and untie. And then I have a screw on the outside, which if she can tie this, we'll show you how to do it.
Okay, just making sure it's okay.
I brought you in close so that you can see what we've done with the feeder. Jesse, if you want to take the feeder out and pretend like you're filling it. We have a staple on the roof here, which when it's empty, it's a lot easier to do. The string goes through the staple. And then we have an easy tie on the handle to where you just pull and untie.
If it wants to.
And then she's got the feeder loose. She can take it to the feed and fill it up, which, okay, she just filled it. Good job. Now we just put it back in there and we retie it.
Would you quit chewing my pants?
She says, I know you have animal cracker in your pocket.
I ain't got no animal crackers.
Well, she thinks you do. Alright, and now it's tied. And then we lower the feeder right back in. And on the other end of the string, we have another loop, which we attach to a screw on the outside of the coop. And that holds our chicken feeder. And as you can see, our chickens like it. So, that's the end of that project. What else can we do today? Well, Candy has fooled me again. I don't know how. But he fits through my hole. So now we're going to have to block part of that hole. So Junior here is going to put in a piece for me. Hopefully that'll block the goat and still allow the chickens out. I'm telling you guys.
The wood. Hey, camera lady, come here.
I'm telling you guys. Ah! You bit me twice today. Stop. Stop.
You made it miss.
Bella, I don't have cookies.
You're gonna have to do that one.
You need the screw. Let's see if I can get my fat self in here.
Try it. Damn it. Ooh.
Bella, quit biting. She's not actually biting me, she's chewing my shirt, which bites me. Alright, can you move the board in place?
That baby is longer than that pulled out.
There. Maybe that'll keep him out. I can't believe it. That goat is just a Houdini. He amazes me. He got through that hole. So we took this board out and we lowered it about 2 inches. Chickens can barely fit through this hole. I mean, this hole is like 4 inches by 5 inches. It was about 6 by 5, and now it's 4 by 5. If he gets through that, I don't know what else to do. Ruthie's gonna try. Can you believe she got her head and horns in that hole? Oh, Ruthie doesn't have horns. Alright. Hopefully, this project is done. I thought it was done last time. Started cleaning up, looked in there. Tane was in there. That goat can get through anything. I think I could put a pair of pantyhose over there and he'd fit through the hole. Let's go find something else to work on. Well, I'm back out in the garden again. Full circle here at Grace Hollow. Currently, I am using this steel rod to poke holes in the ground, obviously. I am going to plant green beans. These are supposed to be stringless bush beans. So I'm just going to drop 1 bean in each hole. And cover them up. That's pretty interesting stuff, isn't it? Yeah. That's maybe 20 beans planted, maybe. Got a few more to do. Let's get back to it. So now, I'm ready for a break. Now I'm putting in a wide walkway and a wide row because I'm going to plant squash and zucchini here, and of course they get really big, so they need lots of space. back to it. And these rows are not scientific, and they are not straight. They're about as straight as my eyeballs can make them. They're not horribly bad, but they're not straight. But you know what? My green beans, my squash, and my dinner plate don't care if they're straight or not. Well, I got my squash and my zucchini planted. I planted 8 holes of each. I think I'm done for today. I was hoping to get more done, but you get done in a day what you get done, and start again tomorrow. I think I'm going to go play with the bunnies and the piglets for a little while. You know, sometimes after a long, hard day of work here on the homestead, I wonder, what in the world am I doing this for? This is hard work, back-breaking work. But then I remember I like to eat, so that keeps me motivated, keeps me moving. At the end of the day, I like a good, hot, fresh meal. Thanks for watching, guys. Until we speak again, God bless.